Hi everyone, my name is Aemal Sayer. I'm a software engineer specializing in building AI agents for SMEs in Germany. In this long video, probably a couple of hours, we'll go and do a vibe coding, pretty much doing everything from scratch. You'll know the plan in just a minute. The whole idea of doing this comes to me, and basically it's a small token of gratitude I want to give to my followers on LinkedIn. I just literally, let me show you, hit 13,000 followers. So this is kind of like my way of showing thank you so much for following me and thank you so much for being there. And in this long series, what I will show is like nobody is perfect. I'm not perfect. I've been doing software development for 23 years in a row, 7 or 8 years of this in AI, 2.5 years in building AI agents. I consider myself a senior developer. I have never stopped working on the code base, although I led teams, but when I was leading teams, I was still writing code. And when I was leading teams, I was still doing a lot of code review. So nobody is perfect. The one message I want to give through this video is that perfectionism is the big killer of ideas being built further, especially when you have an idea that you're sitting on it and you're not working on it, or you're ashamed of sharing it out there on the public. This is one example that I think should or could inspire someone out there sitting in a corner of the world, thinking about doing something, and they're hesitating to do this. As a matter of fact, like I'm one of them. Like literally 2 months ago, I was procrastinating, I don't know, maybe for 3 years to start a YouTube channel and put content online. And now here we go. I'm recording a 4-hour long. I had a blasting workshop a week ago. 75 people showed up. I'll show the pictures in just a minute. And I have another workshop scheduled. So throughout the year, I will be doing this volunteer free workshops to educate people how to build AI agents. And at the same time, I already see a big positive ROI on all the efforts I'm putting in. My freelancing career has been shining again, or started shining again. So, in my opinion, if you're sitting on an idea, just don't hesitate. Start doing it. So let's start. Alrighty. So let's start from a little bit of an introduction about the workshop that I was talking about. So if you go to my YouTube channel, then you will find a video somewhere, 4 hours long video, this one actually. This is basically the workshop that I was talking about. I literally give this workshop as a full day workshop. A lot of people joined, most of them from the non-technical background. And we literally had to put like these extra tables and chairs to kind of like accommodate everyone. I think more than 75 people joined. And it was super hands-on. So we did like a lot of step-by-step tutorials. We made sure, like, although the screen was too small in the room, but still everybody was following, and we made sure that nobody is left behind. The vibration in the room was like really, the energy was really high, and everybody stayed there, built a voice agent, something that was so similar to, the background of this work, or these workshops, are my last startup called VoiceKit, which I will talk about in just a minute. It's basically a voice system that we built for a couple of years in 23 and 24. But anyways, so these workshops are happening, and the way I want to do these workshops are they're gonna build on the top of each other. Like, so this was the pretty much the second workshop. There was another workshop which you should be able to find. I think I will create a playlist of all of them together. So the first workshop was here. It was 49 minutes, but the recording and everything was not very nice. I did this workshop. This was the very first workshop, and I kind of like was learning by doing. So the amount of content and everything went in this one was good, but this workshop didn't have any complementary work for like following the content of this workshop. But the workshop I did, this 4-hour video that I just showed earlier, which I have done last week on 15th of March. This had like this complementary playlist where you learn how to build your own voice AI agent. If you go here, you'll see me like walking you through literally from part 1 to part 12, step by step on how to build this voice AI agent that I demoed actually in the first part, where I call a phone number and then the phone number talks to me. It's basically ChatGPT, and then I keep talking, and then literally there is an NA10 integration that executes my conversation, and then it saves it inside a Google document in a very clean and formatted way. So this is basically what is taught in this playlist, and that's what we did in the last workshop. The next workshop is going to happen on 20th of April. It's somewhere in Berlin. I'm talking to the hosts at the moment. Already 38 people are going to join. I haven't started yet promoting this workshop so much. This will again be a full day. What we'll build here is basically extend the skills of Samantha. Samantha is the voice AI agent that we built last time. This time we're going to build a custom node that connects with Gmail APIs, and that will listen to the incoming emails from your inbox, and then it will give you a phone call when you get an urgent email. Or you can call actually this Samantha to compose an email. Mainly we are focusing around on that. So there's a LinkedIn post here. There's a lot of content I have written on this, and you can literally find it from this link. I will also leave a link to this video when I upload it to YouTube. All right, enough of introduction. I have a plan here. What we are going to build is a ChatGPT Assistant API UI. There wasn't any UI I tried to search earlier that basically takes two instances, one an Assistant API ID and one OpenAI ID, and then it just works off the shelf, just a UI where you can upload your documents and then you can send it to someone a link and then they can chat to the documents that you have uploaded. Therefore, I think it makes sense that we're almost done with the introduction. I'll talk a little bit about myself and then we'll go on. So we will build basically an open source project in the next couple of hours that will give you a UI for ChatGPT Assistant API. Let's wrap up my introduction so that you know me a little bit more if you don't know me yet. My name is Aemal Sayer. I'm a software engineer. I have 23 years of experience. I was literally born in 1986. I'm 39 years old. In the middle of the Russian and Afghanistan war, my family had to flee to Pakistan. I grew up there. I was like 18 or 19 years old when I went back to Afghanistan. I spent 10 years there. I got a bachelor's degree in computer science. It's a 4-year long program where I basically did a specialization in software engineering. I started my first company in Afghanistan a software development company in 2008. I fell in love with the most beautiful Afghan women I know. We got married in 2015. I got a scholarship for doing my master's in AI in Germany through this scholarship body called DAAD or DAD. And then I moved to Germany. I started doing my master's program. We were kind of like doing these neural networks on a whiteboard. My professors were explaining and I was banging my head on the table, not knowing anything about it because I was mostly working as an application layer developer. I was not good in mathematics, well, moderately, but you get the point, like the amount of data science, that knowledge that is required there, I didn't have that. And what I had was like an experience of like 7 years of talking in Afghanistan city about entrepreneurship and also being an entrepreneur. This software company that I built in Afghanistan called Bitsoft, it was there like for 7 years. We built big databases for the government, like the birth certificate of Afghanistan, the income tax reporting system for Afghanistan government, and it was an honor to be there, be even super young. I think I started the company pretty much in 2008, so I was literally 22 years old when I started this company. And so I arrived in Germany. I'm in 2015-16, 10 months old or 1 year old migrant in the city. It's called Koblenz. It's a beautiful city. It like two rivers. You can see it on my screen. Two rivers meet each other, and this has like a Duceek. Two rivers come together, and it's a beautiful, nice place. So I go to a startup weekend. It's managed by, if you search Koblenz Startup Weekend 2016. So I go and the whole thing is, this is like 8 years ago. Damn, time flies. So I go, this is me before my air transplant, and that's my beautiful wife. And we go there, everybody is pitching their ideas, and everybody's pitching their ideas basically in German language, and this is a small city of 110,000 people, and I hold the microphone. You can watch the video later if you want. And then I literally start speaking in English. The format of a startup weekend is like you pitch your idea and in front of everyone in a jury for 60 seconds and on a Friday evening, and then throughout the weekend you work on your idea, you build a team, and then you work on an idea, and then you basically pitch again this whole idea that you worked on during the weekend to a jury, and then they give you some prizes. You kind of like win the first prize. And the people you see behind me, everyone, they were my team, and actually Johannes, this guy in blue, becomes my best friend, and he was here like literally for the past 2 birthdays I had, and he is such a sweetheart. He's a great person by heart, by profession and everything. So I kind of get spoiled by this startup weekend. My startup gets recognized. I win the first prize. It's at around 10,000 euros worth of credits. I get a nice office across the street of the university. I go to my lectures, and then I go to my office. I keep building this nice idea that is basically, if you search for 24geeks.com, I think you'll find some demos here. This is basically our office where my co-founder Tim Budwig and I were shooting some videos, and this is me there, and actually in Leipzig this is even more time ago. So basically the idea of this startup is that we connect people inside a browser, WebRTC in 2016-17. on a chat, on a video chat and screen sharing. So basically the idea is like we're startup kids in the city, and I'm studying web science. It's a data science, machine learning, AI, fully loaded subjects program, master's program. And I have to kind of like decide between my entrepreneurial journey and my startup that is kind of taking off. I started getting some recognition. I found a business angel, threw some money at us, and in no time I'm recognized because I was covered in the newspaper of this state called Rheinzeitung, or the newspaper of Rhine, and also the IHK, or the magazine of Chamber of Commerce. So I get recognized, I do a few projects, I build a mobile app or something, and literally a couple of months we earn a lot of money and like building software for others, like revenue. And then I'm totally spoiled. I drop out of my university, I go and move, I come and move to Berlin city for scaling up the startup. Unfortunately, the startup doesn't work, but I switched the idea to build React Geeks. This is the time when React is kind of like just taking off, and I'm being this JavaScript developer for a long time, and I can build really good web and mobile applications. So I start building this. And then later on, I changed this brand to Smart Geeks. I work with great clients like Klarna, Siemens, Allianz, and so on. During this time, I also bootstrapped a SaaS company, an asynchronous voice and video communication platform for remote teams. It happened in the best time of the world, like when the whole world went remote. I should have scaled this company. Unfortunately, since this was my second priority, I had to let this go. After 4.5 years of bootstrapping this, I had to shut it down because it didn't get the first attention, or it didn't get enough attention. And I was, as a part of my my journey, I was a part of this like super early team of this company called Zap. I was the director of engineering, and I was building software for them, leading 2 teams. That's 2021. In 2022, still I was doing some consulting work, and then it hit me again. Like I said, like I want to do a very scalable startup. I shut down my consulting business. I went all in and built voice kits. I found a co-founder. We went through the Techstars acceleration program, and what I'm building there is basically, if you guys know and remember David Hasselhoff's Knight Rider TV series. It's a talking car. So basically I'm building this with Alex, my co-founder. We're focusing on field sales. They kind of like connect the software, this voice AI agent connects with your Salesforce, all the tools you use on a daily basis as a field salesperson. And then it connects with their backend through APIs and so on, and it has an automation layer. You talk to the software and then it works. It's crazy, like the idea of that her 2013 or that idea of Knight Rider is becoming to life, and it's an amazing feeling. Unfortunately, after spending so much of my savings on this venture and raising $120,000 from Techstars acceleration program, we still cannot save this company because we could not raise further funding. And then we had to liquidate this somewhere mid last year in 2024. Throughout the next 6 months of that, I go and build something called microsasbuilders.com. I try to kind of like build multiple SaaS products, multiple small companies. I build Meeting Ping and so on. I'm not going to dwell more on that, but unfortunately, none of them works very well. And then in January 2025, which is like a couple of months ago, I go all in on my personal brand. I say that nothing else matters, but I need to kind of like go and make sure that I do everything from my my perspective. Like, I have a lot of experience working at a logistic company like for a year, and I have experience building this AI agent, and AI agents are coming. 2025 is the AI agent time. I want to go and build a personal brand on the internet and become a premium consultant. It's a story in writing, so you'll know it throughout the year. I'm documenting my journey on YouTube like this. I'm sorry the introduction took much longer, but we're done. So what I'm right now doing is literally, it's an individual contributor. I'm a freelancer. I help SMEs build their AI agents, and what I'm right now trying to do with all this content that I'm putting on the internet is to get more visibility and get more authority on the topic of AI agents. I have had already a lot of talks and meetups. I have a bunch of other talks already scheduled in big conferences, in big brands, and I'm kind of like climbing the ladder with that rock bottom that I hit already after the setback of my startup called VoiceKit. But I'm extremely motivated, and I'm putting every single bit of or ounces of energy I have in my body to make this happen again and be ready for another entrepreneurial big jump I may get in 2026 or 2027. So let's go and start vibe coding. Alrighty, so let's go to the agenda. All right, so let's go to the agenda. What do we have next? We have something to do with ChatGPT Assistant API. So what I will do in this part is I'll go and explain what is a ChatGPT Assistant API, and then also kind of explain what do we want to do with this project. So first thing first, you need to have like an OpenAI account in order to go over here in the so-called playground. You can go to this URL. You should be able to find your way out to this place. And then you have this tab called Assistants. If you click there, and then you can create a new assistant from here. I'm going to create a new assistant, and I'm going to call it, let's say, if I want to give information about this assistant, about myself, for example, I will call it Aemal's chatbot. And in here, I will give it some information. I already have my CV setting somewhere. Probably I'll provide my CV to this and see if it works. I'm not sure if it's gonna read my CV, but it's a good test. So your name is Aemal Sayer. You have access to PDF file, your resume, and try to answer the questions from there. I give that. I changed the model to 4.0 mini. Where is 4.0 mini? Here. And I turn on the file search, and I add a file here, which is Aemal's detailed CV. This should do the job, I think. Okay. Now I want to ask a question. I say hi. It says back something. Okay, how can I assist you? I will say, what is your name? My name is Aemal Sayer. Okay. How many years of experience do you have? I think it's going to say less because of the PDF that was old one, the old CV. There we go. It is running retrieval. That means I have some, yeah, it is an old CV that I had. Let me actually delete this old CV now. I'm just giving you guys a full detailed introduction of what is this Assistant API. Because this is the whole power. This is going to be the underlying thing. So this, I think, is my latest CV. So let's put this in and ask the same question and see what is the answer. Okay, it is indexing it right now. There are a lot of steps involved in that, but I will explain what does it mean and what does that vector means, vector database and so on. So maybe I will say hi again. Okay, if I ask the same question, how many years of experience you have? And somehow it's hallucinating or whatever. Or I'm not sure if this CV has enough data that shows this, that I have as many years of experience. It says 20 years, over 20 years, so it should kind of like say this. Let's find out. Apparently, this needs to be re-indexed or something, or the delete file didn't work. Not sure about this. This is one important information that we need to put in our to-do list. I'm going to keep building this to-do list, which will become the next steps of our project. So double check why ChatGPT Assistant API isn't updating facts. Uploading new CV of Aemal didn't say 20 years. It kept saying 17 years. Okay, so basically the idea is that so the overall idea, I'm going to explain the overall idea in just a minute. All right, so the overall idea is that we take ChatGPT Assistant API. I couldn't find a way to share this chat interface with people out there in the world. What we will do through this series is that we're going to review open source projects, if there is one that we can pick off the shelf and then host it. If not, then we start something from scratch and we build the entire UI and we'll open source it. And whatever comes along the way, we keep punching it here in this list, and then that will become a ticket for the open source project as we go on. So that being said, we're pretty much now on the track to do this. This particular problem that we saw 17 years or something, it's nothing that we can do about. It is something inside OpenAI, ChatGPT Assistant API. But this gives you an example of it knows about me. If I say that what tech you know, it should be able to say that the technologies that I'm good at, that's coming from my CV. Now imagine if this kind of a technology, there we go, exactly, that's the technology that I'm good at. So basically this piece of technology exists for quite a bit of time, over a year or so, and a lot of people don't know about this. The purpose of this video is, and also there aren't a lot of projects out there that builds a nice UI for this. So the purpose of this project, or the purpose of my recording project, is to, one, build a nice web UI that people can use without any coding experience. Fork it, use it. Maybe I will create like another video later on for total non-technical people on how to host it on their own cloud. Second, I want to produce some content and then deliver some value through this recording. So basically that's the whole idea. So let's go and search for something. Let's go to maybe one of the last things that we do for search, or maybe ChatGPT is taking it over already, Perplexity or something, and I'm still stuck with search. But what I want to search is a GitHub project that has something to do with ChatGPT Assistant API UI. So I would just want to build, oh, I must have already seen this. This is a visited link. So let's check this. Web UI for ChatGPT API. Maybe we can also check this one. Let's check them one by one. The way I review open source projects is usually I look at the stars, I scroll down, look at the technology, if I'm good at that thing, and then I go to insights. Indeed, wait a minute. I check one more thing here on the code. Number of commits. I go to pull requests, see number of pull requests. I come to insights, go to contributors, and unfortunately my internet is slow. And see since when is it running. Okay, this is good, but this particular project is not of my interest because of Python. I'm more a good JavaScript developer than a Python developer, although I do know Python. I have been doing it for 4 years or so, but let's go back to where we come from, Google, check the next one. So 130 stars, JavaScript, but not TypeScript, that is not nice. 200, okay, that's good, but 6 months ago there was one commit coming, so it's not actively maintained. 70 closed, 30 open, pull requests, 4 pull requests, and perhaps it was like one blast of work and then it kind of faded out. We'll see in just a minute. So meanwhile it's crunching data, I would like to mention one thing, that this is the requirement for this course. I should have mentioned this in the start. Maybe I'll do it on the messaging on the stuff. The requirement for this is super small coding experience. Like if you have done a Hello World program or if you were a part of a coding school a couple of months, it should be okay. I will try to do mostly vibe coding so that you can kind of like understand and follow it yourself. Oh yeah, as I have assumed that it was just one initial burst of work and then it just disappeared. What I would like to do is, because does it have anything to do with Assistant? Welcome to Assistant, where you can install Assistant app. Apparently it's not the Assistant API we're talking about. But I will double check that in just a minute. One more thing I see when I'm reviewing open source project is the license. If it's not MIT, I lose interest. So for this particular project, I lost interest a little bit already because of no TypeScript and not all the others. So let's go to the next one. We'll just do 3 of them and then we'll decide what to do. There's also 2 old project. You can see 2 years ago, so I'm gonna just get out of this immediately. This apparently is just like one file, so again 2 years old, not nice. Oh, this is very nice. Look, Assistant UI, 3 days old. We'll check the website. TypeScript React library for AI chat. I think it's a generic one. TypeScript, that's nice. Assistant UI is an open source TypeScript UI library for AI chat. The library handles essential chat features such as auto-scrolling, accessibility, and real-time updates while providing easy integration with LangGraph, AI SDK. I think it's a little bit overkill. I'll explain why. We could take this. This is one good potential. Let's check the UI for this. How does it look and how does it feel like? Yeah, I think we could check this. Apparently it is already in my list. And it's also commercial, but also MIT, that's nice. Okay, this is, let me see, I have a list already here. I found this ChatGPT GUI list somebody is managing, which is basically the list of all chat UIs that you can find. And Assistant is not on my list. Let me put that one on my list. Assistant, no, not this one, this one. So, how many stars? 3.8K. So this one could be one potential way we can go. But to be honest, my intuition goes more towards doing it ourselves. Because of a good reason. I have a very good reason. No, not interested. I think 2 years old, not interested. Yeah, one page of Google is enough. If Google couldn't index it, it came up on the top, then it is probably not the right one to do. Just we'll make sure that we are not just relying on Google's indexing. I'm going to go to GitHub, and I'll just search here the same thing, like ChatGPT Assistant API UI. So just a UI for ChatGPT Assistant API, nothing else, because the payload, the contract, and everything will be different. Can I put a filter here that says only filter certain languages? Yes, I can. So let's put that language filter. There is only one project that has been updated for like 12 years, 2 months ago. 85, a Next.js library for building efficient, scalable, and quick solutions based on OpenAI Assistant API. That's nice. It's literally focused on that. But I'm not sure what is the vision, ChatGPT 4 vision has to do something with this. TypeScript. Let's actually spend a little bit time on this and see what it does, or maybe watch the video of the author. Oh, he's also perhaps a new starter, 150, but never mind. Let's check it out.
Hello everyone, I am Olivier. I am a generative AI engineer at Boulder, and today I want to get to the code. Sorry. I click send button.
Oh, I see. So it's using the, yeah, it's creating threads. Yeah, this is going exactly in that direction that I want to go. It is creating threads. The way this works is you create threads. The APIs of ChatGPT Assistant API is, I will explain it in a minute. You create threads, you create things. It's going in those directions. And maybe I can also fork my project. I have a project. Yeah, I think this could be one solution we can pick. This one. We will quickly go through it, but this thing is using Next.js. I don't like this project so much. I like Next.js. And I'm also, last time I did a Next.js project was a while ago, so I'm not sure if I will pick it only because of the wrong framework. And if I extremely quickly show what I want to build on this whiteboard, is that I want to have like a chat window. If you open whatever website, let's say chat.aemalsayer.com, we will take that domain name. If you open that, I want to see only one thing that has like a chat. In the project itself, I want to embed all the following information. OpenAI API key and assistant ID. If we go back to our assistant, each assistant gets an assistant ID. Where is the assistant ID for this one? I think it's this one. Like this is the assistant ID. I want to copy this in an environment variable, and I want to provide my OpenAI API key. And then this UI should just work off the shelf. And the way it should work should have like, maybe I can quickly talk about the requirements. It should have like streaming, and it should have like a nice UI, like sleek UI, and it should be fast or something. That's all the requirements I have, nothing else. The actual PDF uploading, I will use this feature. I will not build a backend to do the PDF uploading. So this could be one potential candidate for us, because this is using, I'm just gonna keep it here so that we can easily reach out to it, because that's using exactly the approach that I have in mind. And it's actually from an agency. Their website's also down, or whatever. Anyways, I'm just doing a shout out. I want to do a shout out to the guy who built it, but didn't work. Alrighty, so let's go and like one more last try here. If I ask ChatGPT Assistant API UI and see if there is any project out there in the world that we can fork and then keep building on it. Otherwise, then we continue with the TypeScript. No, there's only this one. If I also add JavaScript, there's another one, or it's the same. Oh, it's the one that we just checked earlier. Load app. Yeah, this was a little bit too old, I'd say. Like we'll ignore it. Alrighty, so in my opinion, we have a couple of projects that are going in that direction, but they're not. It's not Next.js. I was really hoping that it's Next.js. We'll give it the benefit of doubt. We'll clone it. We'll spin it off, and we'll see if it works fine. If it works fine, it will cut our video production a whole lot, especially if it has a streaming. If not, then we'll build everything from scratch. All right, then let's do that. Okie dokie. So let's go to this project we found. This one, Boulder. Let's clone it. I'm gonna open my item. We need to give this this project a name. I'll call it ChatGPT Assistant API UI, because at least that was the search term I did. Maybe other people are also doing it. So I'm gonna make a temp directory here so that we can do everything here and see what is in this project. Let me open it first. Maybe we can also follow this from the README. Okay, another thing is like getting started prerequisites. I think it should be fine. Step installation, npm install Boulder. Okay. Let's do that. And then environment variables. I should have these two things. Exactly my concept. Yeah, that's good. I like this now more. Did cursor not work? Not working. Okay, I'll open cursor in just a minute again. Alrighty. So this project is installed. Okay. Let me see, what do they have here? So the next step was environment variables. Let's actually put that. I think I had it on the clipboard. That's fine. I'm gonna bring my environment variables. So we need to go to playground. I already have the assistant ID here. And I need to go to create a new API key. I'm going to create an API key here. Make sure that this is secret. I'm just deleting it later, so I'm adding it for now, just here. Okay, we got that one covered, and then configuration. The library provides a way to configure the assistant with the assistant for root method. The method takes configuration object argument, blah blah. No, I want to try it out like literally off the shelf. Function calling, running the application, run start dev. So if I do run start dev, npm run start dev, npm start. Use if you're using the repository, If you are using your own Next.js application, please check the npm script. So let's do the run start dev, and then let's see what happens. Okay, dokie. And this could be a good, why did it not create the store files automatically? Alrighty, so let's check out this error. Since it's vibe coding, that will be too much. If I just take this much, I think it should do the job. So I'm gonna put this in here and say I get this error right off the run start dev. Apparently, I have to rethink about this sprint I'm having right now because of the speed of the internet. Well, the model speed should not be relevant to the speed of my internet because we are sending back and forth super small chunk of data. So I see the issue now. Let me fix it. The error is this: property doesn't exist on the beta object. Like okay, so this apparently is a bug coming from the guy's background, because the guy's code. Because what it does, maybe it's a good chance for me to explain how ChatGPT Assistant API works. So when you upload a file, what happens is in the background, it creates a file, it creates a vector store, and then it puts them all together in here. So if you go to storage, you'll find my CV. And if you pay attention to the CV, it's just a file, but it has a file ID. Let's copy that, or remember TDK. And if we go to vector store, we'll find out there's a vector store called vector store for Aemal's chatbot. And if we see here, it has a file, well, an assistant used by an assistant. This is the assistant ID. We can double check that with our .env file. The assistant ID is this one, U3G, exactly the same one. And then it has files attached. Which file? This file. And if you click it, it goes back to that file, and then you see that file. So basically, it creates a vector store, it saves that, it embeds that file and creates a vector database out of that, and then it creates the entire retrieval augmented generation pipeline, but on the cloud of ChatGPT, which I trust more than running a RAG pipeline by my own. The quality of this is much better. Now the problem that we're facing here, that this is still trying to fix it, is apparently a bug in this repository, or maybe an edge case that my file had. I don't know, like that could be one of the reasons. Just to give it the benefit of doubt, because we deleted something, we added something else, maybe something in the chain is broken, I'll create a new assistant. I'll call it just Aemal. And I will just bring forward this prompt, and I will keep that ChatGPT 4 mini. I'll enable file search. This time I will just put the CV directly here, the one that says 20 years of experience. And now this is my updated CV. So now if I attach this and I start chatting from here, basically from the playground assistants, and this is, I think, the right one, Aemal, only Aemal, and I say, hey, how many years of experience you have? This is correct, okay. Now what I will do is I'll update this assistant ID to the one I have here. Yeah, let's call it old new. And we'll see it here. But actually, before seeing it there, I would like to test whatever changes that Cursor brought to see if the bug is fixed. Not really, or at least different one. Tool resources, which is declared here, and type partial da. So actually it's the inside the type of the, it's a different one. Let me quickly ChatGPT this. I mean Claude in this case, but vibe coding basically. Oh, indeed, I did not explain what is vibe coding, so let me do that. So, Andrej Karpathy, is the open source former co-founder. Oh, he is also in 86. And he is one of the best computer scientists out there in the world when it comes to machine learning and everything. Obviously, therefore, he was the co-founder of OpenAI, ChatGPT. He basically built ChatGPT. And then he goes and in February talks about vibe coding somewhere on a tweet on 2nd of February. And this tweet goes viral, 4.5 million views. And he summarizes it very, very well here. Like, I just see stuff, say stuff, run stuff, and copy paste stuff, and it mostly works. He is using a voice thing called Super Whisper. I installed it. It's not really working as I expect to. Therefore, I'm kind of like typing mostly, but he's using a voice feature here. I keep using this voice feature from MacBook, like this. Can you please let me know something else that I don't know? So it basically types. So Andrej is using that, and it's kind of like working for him. And the whole concept of vibe coding comes from this, that you go with the vibe of the LLM. You keep talking to the LLM, and then you get the output without going so much deep in the code. So therefore, like literally here, when I said like copy, paste, enter, that was vibe coding basically. And throughout this course or this video, we will be vibe coding. We'll be just copy pasting things around and then we'll build something out there. And I believe it will work and we'll get something out of the shop. So let's restart. Oh, actually compiled successfully. I think we should be able to run. Still something is failing here. Cannot find module, da da da. Let's vibe it again and see what is not da da da. It will keep running. I will get some more water. It's a nice day in Berlin today. Not sunny, a little bit cloudy, not too much cloudy. And it's Sunday. Not so much going on. Berlin is literally dead on Sundays. All the shops are closed and so on. Okay, dokie. So this is still generating. Build up in a NX build. Oh, do I have NX installed? For some reason, no. Maybe that I can do. Let's give the control to, yeah, vibe coding, no? For vibe coders, I really love this feature because it basically exactly what I was thinking about. It knows, like it executes, it goes inside the context of the LLM and then it keeps executing. So now it's using NPX, which I was planning to do as well. Better way to do it. Meanwhile, it's running. I would like to observe one more thing, which is not on my terminal, on here. So if we go to GitHub, maybe we can find a chat, kind of like Next.js chat UI. If we can kind of like fork that and merge two projects. What did I get into? Oh, it's Copilot. Oh, nice. So Copilot, there must be a lot of them, but no, it overcomplicates our project. Let's stay focused on this one. If the chat UI of this and all the API integrations and everything was good, then we are good to go. Oh, it has ASCII, that's nice. ASCII is a it's kind of like you enforce on your pre-commits and so on, some rules, linting rules and so on. So that before you commit, you make sure that the code is clean and so on. So at least from the get-go of this, it looks like the code is clean. It has these components. These are probably the pages, the controls are pages. I don't remember if that's the way it goes. Files at component. Yeah, no, the code is clean, that's fine, but I just don't like the structure of this framework. I like Next.js's structure more better. Okay, so sometimes this gets stuck, so I'll say next, and then it will wake up again, and then it will. Did I need to run the API as well? Separately? Huh? Okay, then it is already losing my interest, this particular project, or maybe not particular project, but NX, that it's not as sophisticated as Next.js, like running the whole thing, the whole show. Oh, it is actually running API and SPA parallelly. This should have done both of them in parallel. So I think the changes were implemented. Let's go do this from here. and see if, yeah, still we have this error. I don't like to skip errors. Otherwise, like, it says compiled successfully, we could check the UI, but this one, potential section, system module is valid Next.js module. Nest.js module. No, I think I'm gonna give up on this. All right, then we have a direction. At least I will give it just last chance to kind of like run it and see if that particular one is giving any errors or something. Which port should I go to? Look, 4,200. Sorry. Localhost 4,200. Yeah. To be honest, the UI, I don't like it like that. And also the icons, not nice UI. Let's see what's happening. Oh, it is using WebSockets. Application. Oh, what am I doing? Network actually. Not really, not my thing. It's getting a little bit more annoying than I initially thought about it. All right, so no, then it is already decided. We are going all in for something from the scratch. We tried everything. We tried multiple projects. These projects that I showed you guys earlier, these ones, I checked them. They're an overkill for this problem. Just for one quick glance, if you see this, it has 82,000 stars. It's super big project, super vibrant community, a lot of contributors, TypeScript, everything is perfect, but it's an overkill. Like the UI is super nice. Like this is the UI that you'll see later on if you rebuild it. Everything is nice, but it's an overkill. What I want is an extremely simplistic chat UI, and obviously forking that might not be as cool as having your own project spin off from scratch. So it's time for us to start moving in that direction. As I see the clock, I'm not sure if in one setting I can finish this, but it depends on the vibe. Let's start vibe coding and then we see how fast this vibe coding goes in just a minute. All right, so we're gonna start now, or basically restart now, vibe coding or spinning off the project. I did a session of like almost half an hour. Unfortunately, I was kind of like playing it back with QuickTimes and I forgot to save it. And when you close playback of QuickTime, it doesn't ask you for confirmation if you're closing it accidentally. And I lost it, so I have to do it again. Anyways, the thing that I was doing anyways didn't work very well. It was not the best session I had. So I'm gonna literally remove that project. Well, I spoke a little bit around other things that might have been of some value, but right now we can remove this particular project. I'm not sure if I remember, did I create the GitHub repository in the previous video or it was in the video that was lost? So what I did was I went here and I created a a repository here, and I'm gonna add it in just a minute. Before that, I will need to go and spin off Bun, a Next.js project with Bun. I like Bun more. So name the project. The project name can be ChatGPT Assistant API UI. Yes, sir. Yes. Tailwind, yes. What is it saying? Code inside the source directory. No, I think the app directory is better. App router, yes, yes. I think all of them needs to be the default things. Okay, dokie. It's running fine. Okay, so we have now this project. What I would like to do is first Bun start, and let's check it out. What is it saying? Not find a production Next.js directory. Okay, since we are gonna do some vibe coding, let's do this. Create a new context. Give this to actually bun run dev is the right command for this. Apparently there is no issue, or is there one? Yep, no issues. So let's do one thing. We don't have any Git repository set up, so let's get this set up first. I had a remote origin, get remote add origin, paste, and I have this origin, and why does it not say git status? Because there was a lot of things going on. Oh, I see, the first git commit happens already by default by Bun. So I don't have anything here. Let's get cp, just git push, so that we get the first commit on the server. Perfecto. We'll modify a lot of things here. Okay, so what I would like to do is get checkout-b. I will call it chat UI, just one branch that has a chat UI, and then we will see what happens next. Okay, here I will say like, can you please install HeroUI using Bun. Let me see, because last time I did, since it's a cutoff, it has a cutoff, and it remembers it with the old name, which was Next.UI, I think. So I need to give it the installation instructions. And meanwhile it's working, I will Bun install. Meanwhile it is working, I would like to explain something about this package that I like. I think it will do some search or something. Let's see if it, HeroUI React, I can, no, it's picking the wrong one. So let's find out. Bun install HeroUI. See, HeroUI. HeroUI spins off a Next.js app by itself. Oh, I see. So now HeroUI is a framework. It does not spin off the... I cannot just install the HeroUI. If I do this, then it's gonna spin off the entire project for me, right? Actually, let's do this here. Because it can happen that we don't need to use this project then. Okay. Yes, please. The project name could be test HeroUI. I would like to use bun. Nice. Test HeroUI. This is a new change that came to HeroUI. Yeah, that's nice. It is spinning off the entire project for me. Why is it saying that? There's div. Oh, it's not installed. Uninstall. We don't have any np node module folder, therefore. Okay. Okay. Let's see. I'm afraid it's running from the previous version. No. No. Test your UI. Yeah, this looks nice. This is a good way to do it. Then we do it like this, not the Next.js CLI. Bun lock. Yeah, everything looks good to me. I will just basically use HeroUI instead of the other one. So we're gonna remove everything except these two. Even I would say get ignore because I don't know how the get ignore is generated by HeroUI. This should have also a get. I will only keep the get. To be honest, I'm gonna remove all of them. I'll just do a force push to my Git repository. Did the copying finish? Yep. I'm gonna remove that folder. I have this one. It doesn't have any git. Let's remove this. Get initialize, and this one has to be pushed by force then. Get status looks good to me. Do we have a node modules? Yeah, the get ignore is nice. Everything seems to be okay. What I will do is get remote -v. We don't have any remote origin. Get remote origin at this repository. Add origin. Okay, dokie. Git push force. Okay. This should have done the job. These initial comments should be changed to initial comment. Now, perfect. And we don't have a lot of git history. Okay, we literally replace git history. Okay, bun run div. Now we have like a super simple, beautiful website here. We'll change that to a chat window in just a minute. I would like to create a chat UI like before and work there. Not npm, bun run div. Perfect. All going good as planned. Now I need to open this and here. Can you please install, no, not install anymore. Can you please create a simple chat UI? Make sure that the design looks sleek and nice. Modern looking. Use some CSS magic. Okay, dokie. Vibing started. Why is it writing these CSS classes? I think I did something in a bad. My prompt was very bad, I think. It forgot that it is a Next.js project. I apologize. Creating plain HTML. That's vibe coding. Let me see if it can remove its mess that it created. So it created this chat window. That's nice. There's some sample information there. Let's create the CSS module for chat. I'm not sure how the CSS is managed already with, yeah, here, global CSS. It's a Tailwind CSS, let me tell it. Please use Tailwind CSS and follow the HeroUI standards. If you can find anything online, I should have mentioned that. This modulus-based CSS is also fine, but I think there is a specific way to manage CSS in this project. I don't see any CSS. I see they apparently do CSS. That's an icon justice. How do they do CSS already? Oh, it's just inline. It's just Tailwind CSS. But how about like custom classes? They have it here, but no CSS written. So apparently all of that was happening through inline CSS. Okie dokie. Do we actually need to install the... Is that how the components are done? Yes, add accordion. Yep. But one thing we are using bun. Please remember this. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it's failing. Some registry updates. All right. Looks good to me so far. Going in the right direction now. The chat card. We'll optimize this better later on and have the integrations actually. Okay, it's picking already the profile. To be honest, I really don't want the profile in anywhere. Apparently it is done. Oh, it doesn't look nice. I have some comments here. Please remove the header and make the chat window look nicer. One thing I believe this whole thing comes with, by default, not. I think it should have, like, by default, the theme of the operating system. We'll prompt that in just a minute. Okay, meanwhile it's running, I would like to, okay, it's already making it nicer. That's nice. I'd like to explain something. HeroUI used to be called Next.js, and I really like this library more than ShadCN. Although ShadCN has way more GitHub stars than HeroUI, but HeroUI's animations I like the most. Let me do this. For example, the checkbox. If you see here, this is the checkbox of ShadCN. You click it, just immediately you see a checkbox. It's just one example, but it's true for the rest of them. But if you go to the HeroUI's checkbox, and if you see, it has a nice little animation. You see? So all those little UX changes I like in HeroUI. And one thing that you can do is if you search for ShadCN and then combine Next.UI. You need to call it Next.UI, not HeroUI, because that's the old name. And then you'll find some videos where it shows you how to combine the two together. Therefore, at least this video that I watched a couple of months ago, when I want to choose for one of my projects which one, HeroUI or ShadCN, I decided to go with Next.UI at the time, now called HeroUI. So I want to quickly share that with you guys. So let's see what happened to our little project. Okay, nice. I'd like to remove like the entire header. We don't need this. I'd like to remove the entire header. I don't like to have a header for my project. All right, so let's see how this was. Actually, I forgot to do something. I have a specific way of vibing or vibe coding. That is basically committing super frequently. But since I already started this, let's do this. It's not understanding which header I'm talking about, so I have this approach as well. That I explain to LLM exactly the same way as I would explain to, I mean these others. Top navigation, sorry, I called it header, but it's called top navigation. Yeah, top navigation seems more relevant. So what I forgot to do is like commit one step at a time. Like this component at least looks nice to me. I'll commit this and then next and next and next and next. So let's commit as soon as we have something nicer to show. This is a workflow that I have been developing to commit frequently in a stash if LLM starts hallucinating. Because it will hallucinate very quickly. There we go. It's much nicer and cleaner. Let me see, how does it look? We will do a lot. I see a lot of UX changes that I can do, but let's follow that approach of initial chat UI design. Please create this for me, run dev. And let's go. Okay, what I would like to do next is change that to an icon. I see this little edges. I will actually do it a little bit from outside. Okay. I see this little edge. Can you please fix this and also put the theme in place? The default theme of the User should be shown. Let's double check that if actually it already has it off the shelf or not. Yeah, it doesn't have it. You see, I'm in light mode. It doesn't show me the whole thing in light mode. It always shows it in the dark mode. It is currently always shows it in the dark mode. I want the system light or dark mode to be shown. Okie dokie. We fix one thing at a time. Right now I did a small mistake, like fixing this edges and the light mode, dark mode. Instead, I should have done it differently. Okay, it's gonna take some time. Since I lost one recording, I'm not sure what exactly I spoke about before and what did I not. I may speak something that was duplicate. I already spoke about it before, but I don't know. Like, I just lost one video earlier. It's still running. I think it's almost done. But what I've just said earlier is it's a nice day in Berlin. It's a Sunday. Not super cloudy, bright. Yeah, it's getting better. I think it's done. Let's check it out. That corner thing is almost gone. Meanwhile, it's generating. I would like to check the light mode. Oh, the light mode is only done for the input box. I want it to be done for the entire app. The light mode is done only for the input box. I want light mode and dark mode for the entire app. Okay, dookie. Yeah, now it's taking the proper way of the theming. You see the primary, foreground color, and background color, and so on. So apparently it is going in the right direction. The problem here is back, but that's fine. We'll check it out in just a minute. And the background, the balloon ones are gone, like the background of the balloon. But at least it is picking the colors properly. That's nice. Two observations, the balloons on the system messages. Nice, it works, but the balloon messages aren't having a background color that is right here. Nice. I have a few more ideas before we switch to integrating ChatGPT Assistant API. I would like to pimp it up with some gradient and so on. It looks nice if we have that. And also change this button to kind of like an icon. And obviously fix this edge thingy. Oh, now I remember the project that we previously tried. It also had this edge thingy. And I think it's a common cursor problem that it has. And it now takes me to that. I remember something else that I did a CSS in one of the projects that I'm running, and I saw exactly the same CSS on a demo of totally irrelevant person living across the continents. And I was watching a demo of a startup, and they showed exactly the same CSS for showing it. Let me show you what exactly I mean. Where do I have it? I think it is somewhere on my YouTube channel, on episode number 8 or 9 of building this AI agent for Dativ. I may have shown it here at least once. Yeah, this one. So this particular UI, this area, like this, how to show the card, I see exactly the same CSS on somebody else's demo. Why? Because it's produced by the same LLM, and LLMs kind of like have this tendency of like biased, data biased thing. It was an interesting thing to see. Okay, at least the background is there. Let me check it to the dark mode. How does it look for the dark mode? I think I can live with that. Let's keep pushing. I will just not interrupt the development server and have it run here. What do I want? Git cp, edit initial UI. I am confused. Initial chat design, okay. Added dark light mode. Okay, dokie. Now let's fix this one. When I mouse over on the input box, I see this edge. See the screenshots. Vibe it. Okay, meanwhile it's running, I will grab myself another glass of water and I'll be back. Okay, I think it's done. Let's check it out. It can't fix it. I think it's time to get our roll up our sleeves and find out what's the problem. So there is a border radius. It's on mouse over. Type your message. Type your message here. This must have a border radius on mouse over. This must have a border radius shown on the mouse over. Can you find it for me? What is this thing going here? Huh? This HTML file. And what is the index.html thing here? We use it. Okay. If not, please delete it. Still thinking. Okay, I would really like this to go in parallel. Okay, so what I can do is, why did it change it? I didn't ask for changing anything. Rounded none here. Why is it saying round over rounded none? Okay, it's kind of now understanding the problem. But the problem is that I wanted, now it understood the problem, but I like to have it but round. So focus. This should do the job. No. There we go. It's enough round, or let's match the round. At least enough for now. I just want to give a nice little final touch there, and then we see how it goes. To be honest, I don't like this round. Let's match these two rounds together. If it didn't pick it properly, then we will find to do it ourselves. I'm not sure why do we need to do it like this, because this input should have like a property called, because this is an input coming right away from HeroUI. Maybe we can find that. What is it there? Input. I like this better. You can have it something like this with the animation. It must be the MD. Size MD. It really did some big hallucinations. I'm gonna just remove this entire thing and put this on. Get this thing down here. And the label doesn't have a label, we'll call it message. Size MD. What else do we have? Type. Can we have type text? Class name, the default CSS should do the job. Placeholder, type your message here. If we don't have a label, we see it like this. This is much better. Okay. The extra CSS was screwing it up. Okay, dookie. Let's do a quick check of the light mode. Looks nice to me. also dark mode. Looks nice to me. And there are some behavior things that we need to do in just a minute. Okay, that is going on. Now, what I want is this needs to be, so a few small CSS things, and then we'll switch to building the integration. So I would like to kind of like send this to change this to an icon. And when I send, the message needs to be kind of cleaned up. Okay. Can you please add an icon for the send button? The reason I did this is because then we may need some more icons, and then we already have the icon library added. And also it looks nicer to have like an icon instead of like send message. Paper plane, that's a good one, yeah. It remembers bond, that's nice. Lucid React. Oh, Lucid React works with this. It doesn't have its own icon library. Oh, it doesn't have its own icon library. Shatsian might have. Shatsian also doesn't have it. Yeah. Looking at the clock, I'm not sure if I can finish this entire project in one sitting. I might need to do the second part next week, or next weekend, I mean. And guess what? Today is Sunday, and it's another episode of the AI agent for Dativ that I'm building. So I build an AI agent every Sunday for a couple of hours. And I put it on this playlist here. In here. I have done a late episode 3 days ago here. I need to do the next episode, which is the 10th episode. Maybe I will do it a little bit later this week. I mean, the next week. Okay. This is going on well. Let's see how it goes. Most of the time was wasted because of a QuickTime bug or missing feature, I'd say. Because I recorded it and then it made a big mistake. Well, the UI is simplistic. I intentionally don't want to add more stuff because whoever wants to add something, then they can add from their own, like the date and time, the username, and the bot icon or things like that, like deleting a message or something. All we'll do is like just this much. Having this area sorted out, and then we are done. I anyways want the super simplistic message box like this. And then we make it advance in coming episodes if it turned out to be a playlist of itself. Otherwise, this much is good enough. Oh, that mouse over problem is again here. No. Why is it touching the HTML file again? Okay, it touched it earlier. So yeah, this looks nice and fine. Auto scroll to the bottom. We do that one in just a minute. Okay, after this, I think we're like CSS wise, we're good to go. Let's see if it's mobile responsive. Should be. Yep, that's absolutely fine. What happens to overlay? That's fine as well. Okay, it's loading. Meanwhile, let's check the component. Looks okay. Oh, these are extra old ones. We don't need them. And these ones as well, about, blog, and so on. I'll try to remove it later on. Okay. So now it should have like auto scroll going, not going. No, not going. Not working. No. It has been quite a bit of time. I'm setting 11:13 to. So maybe in 20 minutes I'll call it a day. So that's like 3 hours of a setting. But I lost like half an hour of recording only because of QuickTime's stupid bug. QuickTime Player is a stupid bug. But it should give us a good kickstart. I was wishing that I could finish this project in one setting, but unfortunately it was not possible. Okay, let's see. Nice. So the scroll is happening. The responses are okay. Let's add the auto scroll. And we are done with our UI. Then from here onward, we are gonna do the following steps. We are done with the UI part. We will do the ChatGPT integration without kind of like black box vibe coding. And then once that starts working, then if we had time, I will explain how ChatGPT Assistant API works. But ChatGPT Assistant API's documentation is for that. And there are a lot of YouTube videos that covers the nitty-gritty details of that. So I may put that as an optional. So if we quickly look at our thing, so we build the UI without the Assistant API integration, we're going to do this. And hopefully the time box I have for this will be enough. So let's go on to the next step. Alrighty, so let's prompt it like this. I believe there is no changes. Nice. Can you please implement the ChatGPT Assistant API integration to this chat window? I would only supply the OpenAI API key and assistant ID in the .env file. Let me see if it can pick it. The chat window. Oh, it's blindly following what I'm saying. It's not chat window.tsx. Check the component directory. So it's adding OpenAI. Okay. The reason I'm kind of like going super small on my prompt is because I want to check if it can pick that. If not, then we'll see. Oh, I have done a lot of things. I think I created even this part. I went so far with the video that was deleted. Let's see. In my assumption, it's not gonna do this with the streaming part. It's gonna just do it in one go, and then we'll wait for the response. Yes, exactly. So it's awaiting for the response. Let's see if it worked. .env file has to be here. Let's go and bring those two things. So the Assistant API is here. OpenAI Assistant ID. And the OpenAI API key should be, this is the one I created. I think these can stay. It's okay, I'll delete it later, so it's not a secret. But you should keep this secret. Okay, so moment of magic. Let's see. Hi. Come on, work. It may take some time. There you go, it's working. How many years of experience do you have? It may say something like 20 years. There we go. Perfect. It's working fine. With one prompt. That was nice. With one prompt, it just worked off the shelf. I'm not sure why the Git history, the Git diff is not showing. It's a cursor problem. But I believe there was not so much change. Oh, .env is not on git ignore. That's weird. .env.local, .env. Okay, I would like to do one more step, which is a little bit of UI, which show a little bit of loading. So please show a spinner for the loading time when the ChatGPT response is in the flight mode. I'm so happy that at least this worked, because now we can ship something, we can open source it, we can put it there on the internet and see if somebody would like to use it. So if I say hi, it is saying thinking. That's nice. Off the shelf, it's okay. To be honest, because of the time limitations, I would not want to change this to stream. This way it's okay. What's a stream? A stream is basically, oh, it's hallucinating, it can't trigger. Where are you working now? So a stream is basically when the characters are coming one by one. It's just, it feels a little bit faster. So it is, the retrieval is okay, it's working, but at least there's a UI for us to see this. I'm gonna quickly do this. Added thinking loader. Okie dokie. So I'm going to do the following thing. Let's see the README file quickly. How does it look? Doesn't look nice. Based on the concept of this project and the following context, can you please update the README file? This is a simple project, a UI for ChatGPT Assistant API. You would need to just provide an OpenAI API key and an assistant ID, and then it will basically work off the shelf. This is a simple project as a part of a YouTube vibe coding where you can watch it from this link. I'm going to just put a YouTube link for now once I am done uploading it, and then I can replace that link. Check. What else do I need to share? Yeah. My name is Aemal Sayer. I'm a software engineer with... This is not working. Anyways, that much should be okay. Just so that I can leave some footprint on the README file. And this is super generic, NPM and so on. So let's see. ChatGPT Assistant API UI, a simple, elegant UI for interacting with ChatGPT Assistant API built with Next.js and TypeScript. This project provides a clean interface chatting with your ChatGPT Assistant. Features cleanup, Nice. Tech stack, nice. Prerequisites, nice. Installation, git clone, Bun install, bun or npm. Perfect. Demo, there we go. Watch it on YouTube. Contributing, license, author, Aemal Sayer. Nice, that's nice. I like it. I would like to also add one more thing, which is my LinkedIn. my LinkedIn, I should just do it here. Connect now. And okie dokie. That's pretty much it. OpenAI. Okay, so this is basically the modified README. I'm super happy that this project is closing and does not need another round of setting. Okay, so let's go and open source it, because that was the next step, open sourcing it, and some closing remarks. Okay, so what did I want to do? Yeah, the pull request. I have a specific way of doing pull requests. I would like to show you that. Added ChatGPT Assistant API. So this is basically Markdown, okay? And I already have some stuff loaded here. After the initial, basically all of this. So after the initial, all of this, if I copy this, like this, and I go to ChatGPT and I ask ChatGPT one simple question. Can you please create a markdown for a GitHub pull request description based on the following Git history? I will provide one more thing, which is if I create this, then I get this base URL, pull request number 1. This is my pull request URL. Please make a link to each hash based on this base URL. What it does is it creates a markdown, and if I copy paste it, it's way much cleaner and way much easier than if I would write it down myself. Okay, it's not understanding it. Can you please respond back only in Markdown so that I can easily copy paste? I think if I stop it, it has already generated. It should have already generated again easily. So this part is easy. This part makes my life easier. Especially for code reviews, it's a blessing. So it generated initial chat UI design, dark mode, light mode, input field styling, icon loader, auto scroll, ChatGPT Assistant, README, updated, blah blah. So it's done. I'm gonna copy, paste it here. And if I update it, you see it's much cleaner. It's easier to navigate. So if I say added icon, I go to that particular hash, and you'll see just like exactly that git diff of that. Although I could see this also from here, but the problem with this approach is I can see it this way, but the problem is that it's only dependent on that git message that you have given. And here, you can go and change that message if you want to add some more content here. Added, for example, React, blah blah icon. So you have like an option to extra cleanly do that. So I'm gonna go in a squash and merge this. Nice. I'm super happy about this project now. And what I will do next is I'll go to the visibility of this. Where is the visibility? Change visibility here. Change to public. I want to. Yes, I have read. Is it public now? Make this repository public. It wants my authentication. Two-factor authentication goes here. GitHub. Paste. Done. I think it's done, right? It's public, yes. So now this is my second open source project this year that I made it public. It's MIT license, it's available. You can go and knock yourself out. I will just update the video URL myself. Where is it? We had like a watch to YouTube video, this one. Right now it's going to one of my other videos, but you get the point. The other public open source I had a couple of days ago was this one, which is an N8N markdown cleaner thing. You can watch it here if you want. Just some closing remarks I'd like to, and then call it a day. It's not this page. Let me put my face here. All right, this was an amazing, almost 3 hours setting. In the process, I also lost video, half an hour video or so. Imagine with vibe coding and with kind of like most of this time, 2.5 hours, let's say, or 2 hours was invested in my introduction. I want to kind of like personally connect with you guys, tell you the backstory of where I come from, what did I do, which projects that I work on, and what experience I have. And then get into this vibe coding. The next vibe coding sessions, I will do it lists with introductions, and then reference maybe this video for introduction. But what I wanted to show is like, with vibe coding, you can build anything. Like this was amazing. Like what we built here was exactly in the back of my mind that, hey, there is this beautiful thing called ChatGPT Assistant API, and it doesn't have a nice UI. Can we not build a nice UI in a couple of hours? And I said, I can sit down and build it myself and then open source it, or I can force myself, put myself under the camera and do it. I chose the latter one, and I'm super happy about that. And with this output, we already have hopefully the video editing and not editing, actually merging and uploading them all on my YouTube channel will also go smoothly. But until the next vibe coding, thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time. Bye.